Hello, Sandrine here from Savoir Faire Nutrition. I hope you're doing well. Today I'm talking about antibiotics and probiotics and why we should take them together. So let's talk about antibiotics first of all. Of course, they are an absolute amazing invention and they've helped save so many lives and will do for the future. But research is now showing that the bacteria that we are trying to fight are becoming very clever and they're becoming resistant to the antibiotics that we are using. And there was a program recently, don't know if you've seen it, about basically antibiotics that are used for both humans and animals. And they looked at pork meat and they found bacteria in there. And they did an experiment where they tried to treat or kill that bacteria with a handful of antibiotics, okay? And out of, say, about 5, only 1 antibiotics killed that bacteria. All the others did not work, okay? So why talking about this? Basically, there is something called bacteria resistant or antibiotics resistance. And this is important because this is affecting all of us. If it means that, we can't fight those bacteria anymore, it means we need to find other ways, okay? So why is this happening? Let's think about that. Number one is there's lots of talks around overuse of antibiotics. You may have come across doctors that are very quick at prescribing antibiotics for not necessarily serious illnesses. So I think it's really important for us to understand what's going on and understand that antibiotics have a place for sure, but that we also should ask ourselves, do we really need those? And the reason why I'm raising this is because of the impact of our antibiotics on our body as well. What antibiotics will do is kill the bad bacteria, but also will kill some of the good bacteria. And depending on the length of your treatment, all your good bacteria can actually disappear. And that, if you look long term, can impact your general health. Because I may have mentioned this before, but 70% of our immune system is located in our gut, is actually managed by our bacteria. So, overuse. So, for example, now the NHS is recommending people to not necessarily go to the doctor for certain conditions, like, for example, if you have children, ear infections. This is a very common one where you can get prescribed antibiotics. But the NHS guidelines now are that you should try and wait, say, 3 days, perhaps use painkillers, if there's pain. Because remember, antibiotics don't help with pain, they help fight bacteria. So to wait for 3 days to see if it'll go away by itself, and very often it does. Children are incredible, they heal so quickly. And if it doesn't go away, of course, please go to your GP. The other thing to bear in mind is if you are prescribed antibiotics, please do take the full course. This is really important because otherwise that does interfere with the resistance as well. So it's very important to finish the course. So overuse and being aware, when do you actually need antibiotics? Super, super important. The other thing to bear in mind, again, this is research just coming out, is that there hasn't been any development of new antibiotics, So we are kind of stuck with what we've got. And if the ones that we have don't work, we need to be careful on how we look after our health, okay? So what can we do? What can we do to help ourselves? This is quite scary, right? I didn't mean to scare you, but I just want to make you aware so that you have that information if you need it. So the first thing is to always think about, okay, do I need those antibiotics? If you do, if you're really ill and it's a bacterial infection, please do go ahead. If it's a virus, it won't help you, okay? So you don't need antibiotics for virus infections. And the other thing to think about is herbal medicine. There's some incredible ingredients out there that are as powerful, if not more, than antibiotics. I'll give you an example. I help people who suffer from something called SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, okay? So this is basically when your bad bacteria take over your small intestine and gives you bloating, it could give you reflux, it can give you constipation or diarrhea, your typical digestive symptoms. SIBO can be tested, so you can do a test and you can actually work out if you've got it or not. The treatment in the US is with antibiotics. It's quite common. There's also a herbal medicine available. In the UK, the treatment is not very common. When you go to your GP and you say you have SIBO, they may not always give you a treatment. We as nutritional therapists use herbal medicine. Fantastic, because they will kill the bad bacteria, but they preserve your good bacteria. So that's great news. So it's much more gentle on the body, okay? So, second thing we can do is after a course of antibiotics is to take, or actually after or at the same time, take some probiotics. So probiotics are your good bacteria. Now we have trillions of bacteria in our gut, okay, from about 500 different species. So what we want to do to remain healthy is to maintain a good balance, a good diversity. And the more diverse your food is, the wider the range of bacteria in your gut and the healthier you will be, okay? So there's two ways of getting probiotics, through food and through supplements. I've got 3 examples today to show you in terms of food, how you can get probiotics through food. So I've got here miso paste, okay? This is a little soup that you make. It's a paste. You mix it with warm water. And what's important is not to mix it with boiling water, because then you destroy all the goodness, or the probiotics that is contained in this fermented paste. But it's very tasty. You can make soups and you add vegetables to it. But what I would do is add the paste at the end of your cooking so that you don't destroy the goodness, okay? A second ingredient, which you'll all know, is natural yogurt, okay? Now, please do check that there are some good bacteria listed in the list of ingredients, because not all natural yogurt, plain natural yogurt, contains the good bacteria. They're called live bacteria, okay? And then the third ingredient I've got in my fridge today is sauerkraut. So fermented food is fantastic. The one thing to remember is to go for the raw version, not the pasteurized version. When the food is pasteurized, all the good bacteria are killed. The bad bacteria, but also the good bacteria. What we want is the good bacteria. So this is raw sauerkraut. This one is with garlic and dill. You can find all sorts these days. Go to a good quality health shop and they sell a really nice range. It's not to everyone's taste, but I found sauerkraut really lovely if you just mix. You don't need a lot. It's so packed full of probiotics. A teaspoon a day is brilliant. Mix it in a salad. If you're making yourself a sandwich or a wrap, just put it, adds a little bit of sourness. So good for you. And of course, if you can't get those foods, you can get a supplement. So what to look for in a supplement, probiotic supplement, you want as many strains as possible, especially if you've just had antibiotics. If you're just looking for maintenance, the main strains are lactobacillus and I'm going to read it because I'm going to say it wrong, bifidobacterium. These are your 2 main strains, but there are so many and there's so much research around what strain does what as well. So if you want to chat about this, get in touch with me. But these are the 2 main ones. So look for a product that has several strains. This will be more beneficial. And then the other thing to look at is the potency. So the number of bacteria that are actually in each capsules. So it's usually measured in billions. A good quality one will be measured in billions. So you want at least 1 billion. But if you are, if you've been on a long course of antibiotics, you may want something more potent. You can go up to 20 billions in a capsule. So again, if you need advice to choose a probiotic, please let me know. I'll be very happy to help you. But basically, specific strain of probiotics can help you with digestion, can help you eliminate some digestive symptoms. It can prevent diarrhea because antibiotics can cause diarrhea. It can ease vaginal infections, that's also linked to bacteria, ease skin issues and prevent urinary infections as well. So probiotics help maintain and restore a balanced gut, and this is essential if we want to stay healthy. And the third point I wanted to share about what to do around all this is to really eat as healthy as you can, so that you don't actually need antibiotics in the first place. When I think about my family, we haven't used antibiotics for quite a long time now, so we do get things, but we try to use nature. There's some really, for a cold, things like olive leaf extract is fantastic at preventing cold. As soon as you get a little tickle in your throat, take some of that. Or elderberry isn't a very good one. So I hope this was useful. Give it a little like below. Feel free to share with someone who will benefit, and I will see you very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.